Hello everyone, welcome to True Challenge. In this channel, I try new and fun things in life in the form of 30-day challenges. This time, the challenge is a bit special. I walked in the cemetery for 30 days and thought about death and life. Therefore, I call it a Walk of Death challenge. It all started when I was working a lot, like some 15 hours per day for almost a year. I was passionate about my work, and there's a periodic need in my project, and me working a bit more was perhaps the easiest solution. But I didn't even try to find another solution. I was unhappy. Actually, I felt terrible at some point, and I didn't really understand why, and I couldn't stop. I tried the gymming, yoga, meditation, and they all helped at the moment. But as soon as I stop, my mind just keeps going back to work and spinning around work non-stop. I was unhappy and confused how I got myself there. I tried to find a way to stop my crazy brain, but I couldn't until I was walking in the cemetery. Then I was still. Then everything was silenced. There's a ton of movie and even real life cases that people somehow find out that they have limited time to live, and they actually start to live. This teaches us about the priorities in life, but death is far and unreal to me when I'm in my 20s. However, death is the one true ending of life, and it may not be so far and unreal to me or to anyone that I love. Therefore, I decided to go greet death from my side, and that's how I started this 30-day challenges of Walk in the Cemetery. In this video, I will show you the questions that I reflected upon and my answers, and how these answers guide me to live, and how I implement some of the reflections in planning and living my day. It's been a long intro. If you're interested, let's get started. So on this side are all of the questions that I reflected upon during my walks. Life and death are not within our own control. However, I realized that many things important about it are somewhat within our own influence. Therefore, I summarized the category of things that I could make effort so that I die well. And of course, in order to die well, I live well. So let's start from the first questions. I started asking myself, how do I want to die? But I realized it's really hard to answer, and most of the answers I can't control because I would like to die in my sleep. Therefore, I started asking myself the question, how do I not want to die? And I felt it's a bit more easier to start with. As when I started this challenge, I was working so much, so the first thing that came to my mind is that I don't want to die in karoshi, which is like you work too much and you die, you're too tired and you die. No, absolutely not. I don't want to die in an accident. I don't want to die in a painful disease. I don't want to die in a hospital. And I don't want to die killed, like murdered or killed by myself. How do I want to die then? I want to die happy and peacefully. Before the one day that I die, I hope that I could spend a lot of time with my friends, and I have cherished the friends and family. I have cherished the time with them throughout my whole life. And I hope I could still eat whatever I want. I could still go to the places that I want. I could be somewhere in the countryside, surrounded by nature and animals. I could have created some value on Earth, and I could still play and enjoy and have fun. In which situations would I rather be dead? If I have no loved ones, absolutely no one on Earth, if I have severe dementia, if I can't do most of the life necessities by myself, and if I'm a vegetable, what do I fear about death? I fear separation, I fear pain, and I fear that I'll regret about something. Why do I not want to die? What drives me to live? First of all, it's always my friends and families, the important ones in my life. They just give energy to my being, and they are they're part of the reason that I live, and I live for, and I live with. I also find this deep satisfaction in creation, that if I can create some value on this earth, I won't be able to take anything from here. So I would like to leave something. And another thing that drives me to live is it's all these new fun things in life. It's this thrill of exploration. And when I reflected until here, I understood why I work so much, because I work with health-related research. So it just hits every sweet spot. I was so unhappy when I worked so much, and now I know it's because I got my priorities wrong. What will I regret? So this is an interesting question, because this has changed a lot during my walk. At first I thought, oh, I would really want to do this, would really want to do this, a super long list. But then I was thinking, well, life is limited, and when you do something, there's an opportunity cost that you can't do something else. Am I destined to regret about something? But then I thought, if I die now, I'm more thankful about what I could have had in my life. The regrets don't really come to my mind. So I realized that if I didn't think about my life and what's really important, and I had my priorities wrong, then I think that would be a really big regret. What do I want my loved ones to say at my funeral? She's a caring, supportive, happy, curious and creative person. We love her as we were well loved by her. We'll miss her, but we're very happy that she had a fantastic life and shared it with us. Yeah, somewhere along that line. I hope that I am that kind of person, and I'm working to become better at being that kind of person. Yes, how do I want to spend my time if I could live one day up to 80 years? There are a total of 168 hours in a week, and around 100 hours is awake time to be spent. On the x-axis, you can see my time left to live from 1 day to 80 years. Y-axis shows the hours in a week. On the top, you see the categories I identified before. I try to create value currently through research, which is my job, and from projects such as this YouTube channel. I thought this is a complicated question, and it did take me a long time to consider, but I am surprised by the simplicity of the answer. It remains the same if I live more than 5 years, which is very likely. I like to look at this from a weekly view because the 100-hour total makes it easy to grasp the percentage of life I spend in each category, while it gives me concrete numbers of hours in a week, which helps me to plan and review. Now let's move on to the planning part. I have a monthly view and then weekly view. We'll go to the weekly view. There are 2 pages of weekly view. One is task view, the other is time view. Task view is for prioritizing. They're color coded for the categories of things that is important to me. The most important one on top: quality time, health, learning, research, fun projects. I separated 30-day challenges for clearer tracking, and some errands falls in the end. This makes sure that I plan the most important things first. Then move to the time view. After I plan the task, I will time block the things I plan to make sure my planning is feasible, and then just live my day accordingly. The time blocking has the same color coding. If I didn't do things as planned, I will change the time block for what actually happened. By the end of the week, it is easy to summarize how I spent my time in each category and document in the blocks here on the left corner. Since I reflected upon how I want to ideally spend my time in a week, I draw a smiley face if I am satisfied, an upward arrow if I want to spend more time in a category, and a downward arrow if I want to spend less time in a category. And try to do this when I plan and live next week. This way of planning takes more time, but I love it so far because it helps me to live each day more intentionally. I'll test this planner a bit longer and share the updates and a downloadable planner if any of you would be interested. Let me know by giving me a thumb up. So this wraps up my 30-day Walk of Death challenge. These are some of my personal views about life and death of myself, and I'm really glad that I took this challenge. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you in the next one.